Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to another episode of FDR Logging, because that's who I am, and that is what we're doing. Last time we were playing, we had just moved the loader. We took our last load to the mill. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take the skidder. I won't talk about it forever. I'll just start doing it. I'm going to use the skidder to clean up some of these crappy little spots here, and just get this all gnarled out here, because it'll probably be a little quicker. I was going to bring that wheeler loader over here, but it'll probably take a lot longer. So actually, I'll move the buncher here. It's kind of right in our way. Actually, I think I used it for a photo op there. I got a really cool picture of it with the background. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this. I'll clean up all the stumps and bits here. And then I'm going to start decking all the wood right pretty much where that front forward-facing pile is. So this will be our first front forward-facing pile. And then we're going to cut longs for a bit. I want to make a couple decks of longs, and maybe we'll change to shorts at the end just to kind of mix it up. But we also still have a huge pile of shorts on the other side of that Hitachi processor that we brought over with the forwarder. And I can't remember if there was more that we had to move or not. I don't think so, but we can go check that. So right now our goal is going to be just cleaning up all of these stumps in this little line here, just so we can get the row clear for our next process. Because having all these stumps here is just a pain in the butt. Oops, and try not to run into your deck of wood, because the skidder is very heavy and treats them as if they are made out of nothing, air and leaves. Plus, we also don't want to grind into our deck, killing all the hard work that we spent cutting that down. Like I said, the big deal for me is I'm going to build 2 forward decks. I'm going to do one deck here. I can't put it all together because it'll probably frame rate us out and we'll crash pretty hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... actually, I'm going to see if I can snipe that one. Gotcha. I'm going to come back and kill those trees here in a minute. I'm going to make 2 separate decks. So one over here, where we're going to deck a bunch. And maybe we'll cut the line like right here in the middle as to where we're going to deck. Wonder what that's going to look like on the map. Oh yeah, just a big blurry mess. I love it. I love when it's messy. And yeah, we'll just kind of keep mowing here. And then over here, maybe I'll start mowing these decks together and make a short log deck over here. Oops, looks like I missed one. I'm definitely missing that easy development mod. I'm recording this video earlier, so maybe by the time it comes out, it'll be back again. That'd be pretty sweet. Sometimes those mods don't come back, though. I've seen tons of really great mods that I love that never made it back. My favorite mod and the best mod ever was the Dirty Tire Tracks mod, because it basically made it so your tracks would do what my mulcher is doing. It would just rip up the ground, and I freaking loved that mod. But it never came back. FS19 was the only game it was in, and then I never saw it again. I don't know if it was in 17, but it was definitely in FS19 for sure. And then, yeah, it died. It never came back. I'm hoping the easy development mod comes back, because it was pretty sweet, but I kind of sort of have my doubts. Kind of sort of have my doubts. But yeah, we'll see. Because that was sweet where I could just hit remove stumps. I guess it takes kind of the manual labor out of it, and I totally get it for people that want to do like the realistic remove all the stumps thing. But sometimes when you just want a motor, like, and you want to just go, especially in multiplayer, sometimes I just want to smoke out the stumps. But I guess it's a job. We'll just continue it to be a job, I guess, and people can do it. He'll be the mulcher. I think it'll be fun with that, like that mulcher head, or this mulcher head on an excavator, like our track machine. I think that'll actually be pretty fun for people, because they'll have to, here, we'll call that good. They'll have to basically build the roads like we're doing with it over there and just walk up while mulching, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so we have forward decks. This will be our main forward deck right here. So we have a deck back here behind it, or a bunch back here behind it that we need to come grab and then walk it up. So my question is, I wonder if I should do it with the skidder or with the loader. I'm kind of feeling like the loader would be a better move. Well, I don't know. You know what? Let's skid. We did lots of stuff with the loader, and we can always redeck it with the loader if it turns out crappy. So, when I'm actually skidding, I usually actually disconnect this this grinder just so I got my blade back for pushing. I mean, you can push with this blade too, or with this attachment head if you really want to, but I find it kind of gets in my way a bit, so I usually just kerplunk it down. So I'm gonna go put it maybe at the front of our decking area. I do like the dynamic lighting though, how it gets like darker and lighter with the sun. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good feeling for lighting in this game, I think. Well, compared to 22, it's a great feeling in my opinion, but some people don't like it. Some people don't like that flat lighting look. They like the more cartoony, bright contrast look. Not really my gig, but that's cool. I'm gonna move this forward deck back a bit because I see if we're gonna do longs, this is kind of gonna leave us in a bit of a tizzy here. I think I just ran over my grapple. That was the thing people told me not to do, so I don't pop tires. I think I just did the thing. Let's move this back, and we'll pump it right about there. That's kind of where I want it. Yeah, that's better. See, this is kind of where I thought the loader might be better. At least for these side decks. So maybe what I'll do is the rear bunches. Sorry, I keep calling them decks. Everything's a deck. I'll bring these rear bunches forward. Oh, I see a couple buried in there too. I'm not even going to attempt those yet. We'll bring them forward later. And then what I'll do is I'll bring these guys forward to it, and then we can redeck the rest with the loader. Actually, we'll just leave it right there in line. We can fix it with the loader. Just anything that's way back there, it's a long trek for the loader. So we try to avoid that if we can. Even this, I can just bring it forward a couple feet. And honestly, with the loader, you could probably do it just as fast. Not the rear decks, or the rear bunches, but the these front ones are not a big deal. And then I think our split line is going to be about there somewhere. So... what are we gonna do here? Maybe I'll just push that over there actually with our blade. The ground has a lot more friction now in this game. I mean, on my maps the friction's turned up anyway just to kind of support the trees a bit better, but the friction in general is higher, so you do get a lot of resistance when you're pushing the logs, which I actually love. I like that you get more resistance. I think that's the way it should be. So maybe I'll do 2 long decks. I'll do one on this side, one on that side, just to keep the physics kind of separated a bit. Let's actually just go around and push that back. I could grab it, but I think we can push it with our blade too pretty successfully. Close your grapple, Jordan. Close your grapple. I remember that. I'm getting heat from the skidder, the real life skidder operator crowd about leaving my grapple open, so I'm trying to learn here. Trying to be a good skidder operator, okay? Sorry, boys. And we'll, oops, we're gonna add this one in there too. Open the grapple. Close the grapple. I like the skidder grapple so far without locking straps still, even this far down the road. I think it's been pretty good. I've heard a few complaints, people saying they're losing logs, but I think you're just grabbing too much. But I mean, that's quite a bit. That's a decent bunch right there, and that held it quite well. So that one I'm going to leave. That one I'm going to... I'll drag these back ones up a little bit. And maybe we'll leave the edge of the deck right here. I'm going to just grab these crappy little... Oh, that's just one tree by itself, apparently. I guess you're just coming with me by yourself then. Oh, no, there's 2. The other one is hiding underneath. I'm in by... Oh, there's a frickin' another one back there. I don't know if I can get that one. Nope, I don't think so. How would you, as a skidder operator in real life, get that one? Well, you'd probably yell at the buncher operator for being a twat and not putting it in a good spot. Let's be honest. Maybe if I do this, carry this load and then dump it next to it. I just don't want it really getting too much into that other deck, because then... Or that other bunch. Well, actually, that is a deck now. We've made it into one. Because I just want to catch these 3. Ooh, that worked out. There you go. See? I'm qualified. I could be a skidder operator. Probably not, but hey, you never know. Okay, well, Kerplunk skis those there, and then let's go grab that one back one and bring it up. And again, Yeah, I would love to deck it all together in one giant pile, but at this point, I'm kind of like, we need to keep these together a bit more. There we go. Ah, there we go. Ooh, a little hefty there, but that's okay. I don't know if it's hefty or it might be stuck in that other bundle, so I might be ripping it out of that other bundle there a little bit. Screw it, we'll dump it just like that. And then actually what I could do is maybe whip around and give it a little push just to kind of, oops, as we run over our grinder, just to give it a little bit of a straightening. It's those back ones, those big guys. Which, I mean, once we start running them, it's not going to matter anyway. Close your grapple, Jordan. Close the grapple. Yeah, other than that, those were kind of the main mods that I wish would come back. Dirty tire tracks and from before, and maybe that easy development mod. I hope that I hope that one's in the works. I have a feeling it is because it was really popular towards the end there, especially for multiplayer. There's lots of stuff like hang-ups and stuff in multiplayer that you face. Ooh, yeah, see my frame rate dropping? So we got a few trees down here. My poor frame rate. Okay, so we'll try to separate this stuff a little more efficiently. Maybe we'll start in the middle instead and start pulling it away from it. What is my frame rate? Ooh, 19. See, that's how it works in this game. It doesn't slowly drop down. It's just all of a sudden there's too many physics and it breaks and you're like, oh, dang. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull these rear bunches up a bit, and then I'm going to walk through with the loader and we'll get them really far away from each other. It's a lot easier in the loader to do side swinging and stuff too, so. But I can see all these piles are becoming active. So if I move all these forward and dump them about here. Oh, I missed one in the middle here. We're going to half close our grapple just so the tongs aren't touching. Does that qualify? I don't know. And then this one maybe we'll bring to the middle. We'll turn this probably into 3 decks from these bunches over here. I mean, I was being really ambitious with my bunching here because I wanted to test it to see how much we could get down, and I think we've found the limit. I mean, there's a lot of wood down, so it's a lot of stuff interacting. In our multiplayer testing, though, it was actually pretty good. We got quite a bit of wood down, and it was handling it not too bad, surprisingly. The problem is the tops of the wood, the tops of the logs. It interacts by hitting the other bunches, and then that's what causes so much frame rate drop. Let's see if we can sneak this one right along here. And again, I'm gonna have to come through with that loader and fix some of this stuff for sure, because it's a bit messy. But okay, so that's gonna be a deck right there. And you can see the tops of these ones are hitting this other pile here. But like I said, our big goal right now is just to bring the rear bunches to the front. So I think there's one way back there, and that'll be the last one back at the rear. Yeah, let's go get that one. Oh, it's kind of tucked in there, isn't it? I don't even know where it ends and the other one begins. I think right here. Oh, I feel like I'm right on it. Let's go fishing here. Okay, we got one. But there's 2. So where does the other one begin? Trying to spin that around a little bit. There you go. Oh, there it is. Found it. I just want it to reveal itself. That's it. And then once it's out, I can play with it. Ah, there it is. Ah, they're lined up too. Look at that. Fishing. Hey, we need a cool skidder picture too. We should do that while we're here. I will pull it ahead a bit more. Maybe we can get an actual good grab here. Oops. The skidder stuff, they do stick to the wheels pretty good. And the friction is so low on the trees that I don't even know how they stick to them. Like, it's crazy. Just crazy physics stuff. Okay, and these ones I might leave in their own little pile here too. So, okay, let's hop in the loader and go do some cleanup here. That's kind of my plan now. Clean up with the loader. Let's see how much our time allots us here. I'll just tab to it because I'm not running all the way over there. Way too far. Way too far to run. Alright, so yeah, basically our goal here is to separate all of those bunches into little decks so that we can work them without the frame rate basically imploding on us. And I did want to get rid of some of these trees. We'll work on that in a little bit. I might come here with the Weiler, or the Wheeler. And somebody correct me on that. Wheeler? Weiler. Which one is it? Can I fit between these two trees? Oh. Oh, now. Oh, it must be like right perfectly. Oh, no, it's not. So maybe this way a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so deck 1, and then this one over here is about to become deck 2. So we'll start on deck, or this will be deck 1, I guess, if we're going to go on a line here. So we'll go deck 1 right here. And I might actually spring them out of there and put them a little bit more in this little hole. Quite a bit of limbs on there still. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... Oh, man, those are... It's just those big trees. You get those really hefty ones in there. She likes to go sideways. And then part of it while we're decking is we're trying to kind of straighten the logs out a little bit too, so when we're processing them, they're not all cockeyed. All part of the fun. I think I'm against that tree. Oh, no, I'm not. Good. Okay. See how much weight is there, though? This loader does pretty good. New suspensions and stuff, too. So, as you can see, I'm kind of putting them a little bit further to the left, mostly because I just want to get them away from the other piles. Oh, there's a little pile back there, too. And oops, whoops, flickery. I might bring that over here, actually. So, I forgot to grab that with the skidder, but we can just... But as you can see, it does take a little bit more time for us to walk all the way down here to grab that one little pile. So if you have to do it on every single bunch, it does take up time, but if you just got to do it on the odd one, not the end of the world. That's why we use the skidder to bring those other decks up, or other bunches up a little bit closer. And if we're gonna be nice to the processor operator, who is us, which we should probably be nice to that guy because he has to deal with all this crap, we can butt these up a little bit nicer too. They're really light to butt up. That's one thing I really don't like. They should have a little more mass to them. But I also can't add too much more mass or the game's going to start having conniption fits. Which we don't want that either. Okay, so let's put this pile... I'm just going to bring it together a bit. I see this one's a little crooked here. These two actually are a little crooked. There we go. And maybe I'll drag those other ones on my right down into this little hole here. Try to build a little bit of a nicer ground base. Again, trying to keep them straight if you can, or like straighten them out a bit. Even that aspen's not straight. There you go. That way, if they stay straight, once you start processing them, they're not all crisscrossed, and you're not running into... the logs crossing each other while you're working, which is annoying as heck. Especially if you're the processor operator. So I'm just going to go like this. We're actually moving this deck back a bit, but that's okay. It still gives us lots of room to run and process the longs as well. Here, I'll just butt that up. And you don't have to be as... OCD and accurate as this. You can just literally process them as they are or put them in their own pile. Don't really matter. But in the bush, from what I've learned talking to Decker guys, that's the big deal, is keeping the piles straight, keeping them not all tangled together. That's a big deal. Taking the time to kind of work through the piles and keep them nice. So like I said, when they do get processed, it's not a huge nightmare. Can you grab that one? Slip. Actually, it's stuck on there pretty good. And we'll just leave that bad boy right there, because I can see some trees that might interfere with us here afterwards. So I'm going to try to grab these big suckers. Like this guy right here. Oh, it looks like there's another tree back in there. Must have been attached to this one. I missed it. All my hidden bunches here. Oops. I could just grab it like a normal tree, but where's the fun in that? Let's grab it like all crazy like. There you go. Book. Decking is good. Decking is great. These are kind of cockeyed here from our skidding. As you can see, they slide like way too easy, so you got to be a little gentle with the grapple. In real life, there's quite a bit of resistance because all the limbs and the ground usually actually has physics that make them stick. Because, you know, your tops will go into the ground and break off. But, you know what? That's just one of those things you got to overlook. But otherwise, the decking's fairly realistic in terms of both your weight on your machine and the way you swing, and the stabilizers providing resistance from the clam also is very realistic. Because I've done a fair, well, not a lot of decking, but a little bit of decking of both longs and shorts. I haven't done a lot of piling of like brush or full size like in the woods decking like this. I have done full size decking of like long logs, which I mean I guess is kind of the same subject or same concept. A little bit different in real life because there's a lot of sway or a lot of drag on the logs. Like they obviously bend, right? So there's a bit of drag when you're pulling them around all crazy like. I guess that'll have to be. As you can see, I'm kind of working the piles to my left a little bit just to kind of get them away from each other. Oops, because I don't really want this one being part of that collection up there anymore. And then this is going to be a lot of processing, gentlemen. This might take us time. Time after time. Okay. And then we'll see if I got time for one more deck here before I got to run. One more. Ooh, see, yeah, we're getting lag already. My poor grapple is activating. It's almost like it's activating those piles from this distance, which is kind of crazy. So if I get out and stop moving, does it settle? Oh yeah, it's settled. See, those ones are dead. I can see they're dead. They're kind of like a darker color. And these ones are all like alive for like a mile. So it's almost like it's triggering the physics ahead of time. I wonder if I can look into that. Whew, because that's a lot of aggression. But it's got to be a distance related thing for sure. So if I turn this way where my head's not facing those piles, I bet it'll turn them off. Maybe, maybe not. Here, let's get this way away from this. I'm going to bring this way over into the middle here. We just have way too much physics going on, which is my own bad. I shouldn't be cutting full blocks. Oh man, oh boy. And when you get really low frame rate, the physics go stupid. So don't do like I just did with this situation here. Don't be like Jordan. But it will improve if you get the trees away from each other and kind of separated. It just takes a few swings and a bit of trees. As you can see, my loader is acting just really wacky because when the physics, or when your frame rate drops, it bases it on the game's physics. Oh, that's actually better. Well, it was better until I looked this way and ruined it all. So yeah, basically when the physics die down, your frame rate basically matches your processing rate. Because I think the physics are based on your frame rate. I really do. Whoop. Oh boy, that's a heavy grab. A little bit of physics insanity going on right here, but it's getting better. As you can see, it's smooth again. It's just whatever logs are active. So as I swing my head this way, I'm activating all these giant decks of wood. So once I get this little tail of wood away from that pile, it shouldn't do this anymore. And no, this is not like real life. If your logs start doing this in real life where your frame rate of reality is dropping, you need to seek medical attention. And we're going to chuck that into that pile there. That's better. Yeah, so now it's actually pretty good. I don't have that frame rate drop like I was getting. It might tip her down a little bit here, but we're going to build a couple decks out of this stuff. I think we'll have enough time to... I might not have enough time to get all the decks built, but... So this, I'm going to leave... It's a good distance right here. See how the tops are kind of close to the other piles? That's kind of what kicks off the physics to go nuts. So I'm going to just swing these guys this way. But I don't know. Maybe it's... I think it's better than it was in FS22, maybe? Kind of feels that way to me. Because I think in FS22, I swear I couldn't get as much wood down without having issues. We're just going to kind of perlunk it in there. Same difference. There we go. Schwink. Oh, there we go. Be careful you don't knock your loader over, because that can happen if you're not paying attention correctly. Oh, we got some little pieces back there too. I'm just going to finish these little decks before we go. Even if our video runs out a bit. I did a 30-minute one, and it took forever to upload, but it did work. I don't really want to do that all the time because they do take a long time to upload. So they're like huge files. They're like 40, 50 gigs of video. Like, it's nuts. Which maybe that isn't a lot nowadays, but it sure feels like a lot for a video. But I mean, I guess that's YouTube. It's funny though, because like I record these huge video files, like lossless, uncompressed, beautiful quality, and you put them on YouTube, and a lot of the times, regardless of your resolution that you set, it seems to just compress the crap out of them. But I guess that's just so everybody can watch them on their like phones and stuff without requiring them to download the whole video basically to watch. So it could be a setting thing I'm not doing right too, so who knows. Let's just chuck those right there. I don't even need to walk anywhere. So yeah, this is basically the concept. You guys have seen me do this before, decking stuff. But, yeah, let's grab that one last pile there. And then, yeah, we still have shorts we got to go forward over there as well. So we'll get to that eventually. Satisfying little grabs, though. Oh, this feels so good. I'm never going to give that up. I'm not going to stop talking about it until it starts not working or something. Which I don't think that's going to be the case as long as I'm alive. Even after I'm dead. Even if I died tomorrow, you guys would still be playing with this stuff, so that's really the important part. You guys would still have the quality, so it's good. There we go. Plook. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that. We got actually a lot of decking done, way more than I expected. Cleaned it up. So yeah, like I said, these decks are pretty far apart from each other. Those two are close, so they probably interact. But these ones are pretty far apart from each other. But just having these decks, having that big separation between them will save you guys' frame rate like crazy. So make sure you're doing that. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.